Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Against All Odds. And as I say at the beginning of every podcast, it's a purely selfish reason I record these episodes because I like to talk to inspirational people. And today is no exception. I've been so excited for this, and I'm absolutely honoured to have him here as well, being as this is his first podcast in 2 years. Richard Crowe, how are you, my lovely?
I'm all right. All right.
Oh, good. I've got you on the show, and I was so pleased when you said yes, because I can remember you dropping a training for us group of ladies way back about budgeting, about finance, about saving, and money blocks and all sorts. And you blew me away, and you've absolutely changed how I run myself financially.
Good.
And so I wanted you on, but I also know that you've got one hell of a backstory. And this podcast is called Against All Odds.
I think you mean I've been a bit of an idiot.
But you've turned your life around. So let's start with your journey before you joined our coach, Paul
Moore. Yes. So basically, a bit of a knobhead. I got into drugs,
right?
Drugs and alcohol, all stuff like that. And I basically found myself in £52,000 worth of debt. So
wow,
it's not good debt, not like something that earns you money or bad debt. Life had been quite chaotic. Backstory: there was I brought my son up on my own. From I think I got him when he was 3 years old.
Right.
So he's 25 soon.
Right. I bet you feel old now, don't you?
I am old.
You're not.
I am old. I'm a granddad. My God. And life had just been up and down. Didn't really know why. It was obviously always down to me, but I was in a state of mind where it was never my fault, as tends to be the way, doesn't it?
Got an excuse, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I was probably about at my worst about 5.5 years ago, just over, and ended up coming across Mr. Paul Moore. Transpired that he was speaking at an event about mental health, and somebody had shown me his Cliff video, and it just blew me away. It's just like he was speaking just to me, and I'll admit I watched that video and I cried for about 45 minutes. It was like, wow. And I think the biggest thing was, it was like, oh my God, there's other people that are like this, feel like this, have felt like this, and don't anymore. So I actually went to the event. I sponsored it. And I'll be honest, the only reason I went really was to see Paul and listen to him. My son, my son's relationship wasn't very good at the time. If you imagine, he just turned 18 actually, and he'd get into that age where he wants to test his dad and things like that. And we'd not been getting on well. And he'd moved out. He was living at my mum's, and I went to this event. Transpires he got ticket, and they put him on my table, and within like 30 minutes he was smashed, and I was just like, oh my God. And I didn't really want him to be there. Fully admit. And basically he ended up getting smashed, and he ended up smacking this lad, and basically wasn't a good outcome, let's say that. Got arrested and was looking at 3 to 5 years GBH.
Right.
And it was pretty much at that moment I met Paul, he's done this cracking talk and whatnot, and it was very apt. It was kind of a perfect storm, really, because it just made me realize that, you know, it was all down to me. You know, so literally the very next day I started sorting my shit out, really. Yeah. Started making changes, realized that shouting and screaming at someone to stop doing something is not the way to get a message across.
No.
You know, and I just made the decision that I was not going to do that anymore. So
okay,
it was more about, okay, I'm going to show you how to live, and you'll either follow or you won't.
Yeah.
It's
quite a hard pill to swallow when you've got to stand there and take full responsibility for everything, though, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And get it, it's very difficult, but ultimately, you know, it's our ego stops us, you know, from doing that, because how can we already improve perfection? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the beautiful thing about perfection. Is that we can be just perfect for who and how we are today, but doesn't mean to say we can't improve tomorrow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So £52,000 worth of debt. Wow. How did you even start to kind of get yourself out of debt?
Oh, thank God. I thought you was going to say, how did I start to get into it? Well, actually, right. I mean, now that would be a story. I was very fortunate, really, because I actually sold insurance in the past, and I was very, very good. Very good. Left the financial industry, set up a gym. I weren't a great gym owner.
Right. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, had a gym for 10 years, and I had a really good gym. I let it down by being a shit gym owner. So yeah, it was. I actually I got injured, and I ended up having 2 shoulder ops, and I couldn't train or anything. And my pal, who I'd taught training sales, he'd gone into mortgages and insurance, and he basically just said, "Hey, come and get qualified," because I weren't going to be able to go in the gym for a long time. It actually transpired 3 years. And he was like, "Hey, come and do this, see how you get on. When you're back fit and whatever, if you want to go back to the gym, go back."
Yeah.
So I started doing this, and then kind of what happens is you start seeing people's bank statements, things like that. Okay, so that's part of our process. You just start seeing these reoccurring traits, habits, and things like that. And so the more people I worked with, the more I learnt about their behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. And the more I learn about how they saw things.
Right.
And the more I learn off of other people, I then see people's mistakes, and I'm kind of a problem solver. Right. So then I'd be like, okay. And if you imagine it a bit like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see a problem, then I'm like, okay, so if you just did this, this, and this, that would stop that. So what I actually found was I'd solve other people's problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd see this, and I'd go, okay, well, if you do this, you won't be able to do that. And it's that that's stopping you from doing the stuff that you want.
Yeah.
And the more different types of this come along, over time, I just kind of packaged together this system, let's say, of managing your money.
Yeah.
And I then just thought, well, okay, well, if actually I just start applying this to myself, then if I do it for long enough,
Yeah.
I'm going to clear my debt. So
Yeah.
I saw it as the long game, and I was I went into a debt management plan, so that stopped like all the interest and stuff like that. And essentially, I remember this debt management plan was going to take me 23 years to pay off. I was like, fuck's sake.
Oh God.
Right? I hope we're allowed to swear on here, by the way.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Thank God for that. And I was just paying the amount that was agreed, whatever it was. I can't remember, like 350 quid a month. And basically, I then started accumulating some money. And I started using it. The biggest thing for me was I adopted something called the debt snowball. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And it's more psychological because people think if they've got debt, okay, naturally you'd go probably, oh, right, okay, which one is costing me the most money?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to that. The problem is if your biggest debt, 10, 15, 20 grand, whatever it is, okay, it doesn't even have to be that big, because it's all kind of relative, you see. So if your biggest debt is the most expensive, you make very, very little progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've really got to be committed to the long game.
Yeah.
And people aren't.
No.
Okay.
No,
they're just not.
Yeah.
And if they don't get that psychological reward, they fall off.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to fucking clear that off. Never going to clear.
Yeah.
And then I've got all these.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then I'm missing out on life. I can't do what I want as well. And the FOMO.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I came across the debt snowball, and essentially the debt snowball completely ignores how much interest you pay. Okay. Right. So it's very psychological, and essentially all you do is you list your smallest debt at the top down to the biggest one at the bottom, and you commit that you are going to pay the minimums on everything.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay as much as you possibly can off the smallest one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you attack the smallest one. Because it's small, you're going to pay it off a lot quicker.
Yeah.
You then go, oh, I feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you've then got that target, you've got that goal. You hit it relatively quick.
Yeah.
And that's all you need, really. Is then you're like, oh, wow. And I now don't have 8 debts, I've got 7. Yeah. And it doesn't matter that it might have been, I don't know, the smallest debt I had was something like 250 quid.
Right, okay.
Right. So I had that paid off in like, say, 2 payments.
Yeah.
So pretty quick, I'm like, I'm winning.
Yes. Yeah, I've got rid of one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then all you then do is, you might go, I'm £5 a month better off. Woohoo. Or £2.50. Jesus. All right.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference, but you've got that winning feeling. Okay. And then what you do, the whole philosophy, you take that £2.50, that £5 a month, that £20 a month, however much it is, and the commitment is you don't then celebrate and go, I'm a £5 a month better off. Okay. You take that £5, your new priority is your new smallest debt.
Yeah.
Okay. This only works if you then take what you was paying in the first one and you add it to the second. So you just carry on paying the minimums on all the others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then maybe this one, because it's a little bit bigger, that might be £15 or £20 a month.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So then you attack that, but you're using the money from the first one as well.
Yes.
So you get there a little bit faster. And then
Yeah.
you hit paying off number 2.
Yeah.
Okay? So now you buzz it. So now you take the money that you were paying on the first debt and the second debt. So that might be now 25, 30 pounds extra. So you
Yeah.
carry on paying the minimums. You put all of that into your new lowest debt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. Because it's like a chain reaction, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an accumulation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you think about how a snowball works,
Yeah.
tiny, 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 and it hits a point where in a couple of rolls it's massive.
Yeah. That's amazing. I like that. And it's very simple to do. But I think will you find, I mean, obviously you work in finance industry like all the time now, don't you?
Yeah.
And people's biggest worry is always money, isn't it? Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, it's why most relationships fail.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. Is it really?
Yeah, it's the number one reason why relationships end. It's the number one reason why couples fight.
Right, okay. Yeah, and you know, everybody talks about the cost of living things at the minute, and there's a lot of people in debt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know people that they're in rented accommodation at the minute, and they can't even see themselves getting on the property market. I mean, you deal heavily with mortgages as well now, don't you, as well?
Yeah. So I've always done mortgages and insurance. I'm now moving into pensions, investments, trusts, wills, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. So you're going to be the money man for all round.
Yeah. So over time, I want to work more one-to-one with people over 5, 10, 15, 20 year close personal relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the coaching side of things, I love that. That's like I just love it. It's brilliant. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, things didn't really go the right way. It's been a tough couple of years. Liz Truss didn't help.
Yeah. Yes.
Bastard.
Yes.
Right.
God's sake, I forgot about her.
She didn't help, I can tell you. And I had an accident at work. Bizarrely, I just fell down the stairs, blew my knee.
Right.
Couldn't really walk properly for 3-4 months. And it was just one of those periods where it's like you've only had so much energy.
Yes.
I had to cut things and focus on the main thing, which is always, it's going to be, the bread and butter.
Yeah. Absolutely. You must get a lot of help, like kind of gratitude and feeling good about helping people out with finances, though, being as it is to be, because a lot of people are scared of money.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think I was like that at one point. I think it was like, oh, I'm never going to be able to afford this. We see money as a bad thing.
Yeah, it's more, I don't deserve it.
Yes.
I know that one for sure. I know when and it's weird. I was actually talking to someone, my training partner at the gym today. And the weird thing is, as my business started to grow and I start plowing away at this debt, it was weird. The worse I felt.
Really?
It was weird. Very strange. The better things got, the worse I felt, because it was almost like it didn't fit my narrative.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's when I talk about this, a lot of people actually go, oh my God, yeah, I was the same.
Yeah.
So it's real strange. Very strange. And it's almost like I don't believe that, this is going to go wrong.
Yes.
I don't deserve this.
A worth thing, isn't it? So
yeah. You see it all the time. I say it all the time. You've seen it. We've seen it a lot over the years. People win the lottery. Within a couple of years, headlines, blown a lot, bankrupt, whatever.
Yeah.
And the problem is that you can give those people large sums of money, but if their internal self view is undeserving of that, they'll just find a way to get rid of it.
Yeah, you're right there, aren't they? Yeah.
You know,
It's odd. Money does strange things to people. It kind of uncovers a lot of
and the the environment that we were brought up in.
Yeah.
Was money scarce? Was there an abundance that led to overspending?
Yeah.
Interestingly, when I was doing the money mastery coaching, is you did it, okay? Gave people homework, and one of the questions was, it was very sneaky, because earlier on one of the homework, well, on one particular homework, it was about asking lots of questions about parents.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. Yes.
And one of the questions was, do you have a parent that you'd hate to be like?
Yeah.
When it comes to, money and just how they were. Okay?
Yeah.
And then one of the questions further on is there any particular parent that you are like?
Yeah.
It's a proper fucking sneaky.
Yes.
I hated me mum later on. Yeah, I'm just like me mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
I remember it
he's
well.
done me there.
Yeah.
Right? But you wouldn't believe the amount of times that those two matched up.
Yes. Yeah.
And it did for me.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting. I'd gone on a workshop. I can't even remember who coached it now. I can just remember this one sentence. And it was about like owning your own business, and like I think it was about charging, how much you charge people.
Oh yeah.
And she got us to pick a figure, and then she got us to triple it. And she'd basically watched everybody's faces, and she turned to me and she went, "You've got a limiting belief somewhere. What is it?" And I'd gone into this workshop thinking, no, I've got no limiting beliefs. And basically she picked away, and it's because my dad had always been self-employed, and basically what had happened is him and mum had split up. Now, it was nothing to do with money at the time, but being a child, I'd linked him with owning his own business, working hard, separated the family. But his common saying was, it's tough at the top. It's tough to earn money. So I've gone into this going, this is going to be really hard. It's going to break the family up. I'm going to be working all the time. So you do get your money beliefs on parents massively.
But ironically, you do that when you don't charge enough.
Yes. You see, yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But it's not, you don't realise until somebody else points it out to you.
I put my prices up for the first time in 10 years about 2-3 months ago. How mad's that?
Did you feel uncomfortable doing that? Just out of interest at first?
No.
Right, good. I like that.
Not one bit. I was like, knobhead. Why have you not done this sooner?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you just get overworked, overwhelmed. My problem was, I want to help people.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was saying yes to everybody, wanting to help everybody. The reality of it was, I wasn't helping anybody, really. And I wasn't helping me. I was working 17 hours a day, burning myself out.
Yeah.
And it's been the worst year ever in 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? When you said that earlier before the podcast, I wanted to come and give you a big hug, because you've had one hell of a year, haven't you, mate?
It's been a lot going on between since, Liz Truss, bless
Yes.
her.
Yes.
Knobhead, right? Yeah, just sent our industry absolutely nuts, and loads of people panicking, scared.
Yeah.
You want to help them, and bad hires at work, not changing things quick enough, which all stems back to me.
Yeah.
And this is the difference. You can sit and blame and go, this person didn't do this, that person didn't do this, it's their fault. But ultimately, I hired people. I didn't change things fast enough.
Yeah.
So I am where I am because of myself. And I've probably lost more than it was cheaper doing drugs.
Wow. Well, don't go back doing that.
No. So there's been some expensive learnings,
Yeah.
without a doubt. But within a couple of 3 months, I've now got far more money coming in than going out. Amazingly.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I can remember back on the masterclass that you did for us ladies, you spoke about, this is what I've changed and this helped me massively, about having 3 bank accounts.
Yes.
Now, when you first said it, I thought, well, that sounds overwhelming to start with, having 3 bank accounts. Talk to me about that, because this has changed my life. And it's so simple. It's so simple, but it also showed me the shit I was spending my money on.
It's easier to see. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, people always go, they're like, oh, I don't know where my money goes. And you're like, have a look at this, you knobhead.
Yeah.
Right? You've got your online banking on it. All right. Guess what?
Yeah.
Shows you every transaction for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And you don't know where your money's gone. Well, you obviously don't want to know where it's gone very much, too badly, because it's all here.
Yeah.
All right. So the problem is we get so much data thrown at us now. Okay?
We do.
And that's from just emails, phone calls, texts, WhatsApps, Facebook messages, notifications that are shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like there's a battle for our attention.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what happens is the important data, it gets lost in the mix.
Yeah.
Okay. And what people don't do is actually what I stopped doing. Okay. And that is every month doing a full review of my business. Okay. Like our return and report.
Yeah.
Okay. Is doing this full review and finding out where have our money gone?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's our money gone? What's going on? And I stopped doing that because I was actually too in the mix.
Yeah.
Okay. Clients undoing mistakes, redoing mistakes, not having time. I was literally waking up at, say, 4:30. I was starting work at 5 a.m., finishing at 10, 11.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely crazy. And I was doing that every single day. Right. So I stopped actually doing the fundamentals. Okay. And that has been the biggest lesson really ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Because if you stop doing the basics, I don't know if you can, hold on. Oh, my screen's gone a bit dark. We stopped doing the fundamentals and we stopped tracking, which I did. I can't then be shocked when I do look and go, oh, that's not so good.
Yeah. Which many people do. Like they get to the point where I don't want to look at my bank balance. They want to look at me, and I've been there many times. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's actually, it's like, oh, if I look at that, I do that, I'm going to have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And I am not a great boss.
Right.
I'm too much of a wimp. Okay, putting it mildly. You know, I don't.
It's hard job being a boss.
It is. I haven't enjoyed it.
No.
If I'm
No.
honest, no,
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed it. So I avoid awkward conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. And that was the biggest thing. I knew really deep down, I knew what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And I knew it needed to be done a lot sooner than it was done. So, yeah, it's just either something to work on or go, right, I'll just manage myself.
Do you know what? I do believe it's hard work to be responsible for other people as well.
It is, because they don't care like you care.
Yeah.
And they never will. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get to a point where people don't have a basic level of pride.
Yeah.
It's difficult then.
It's difficult, you know. Yeah, I completely agree. But like you say, lesson learned.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all on me.
Yeah.
It's all on me. You know, people didn't treat me bad. I enabled them to treat me bad.
Yes,
So
but you can't blame yourself for it though, because we do kind of, you know, people do have to have a little bit of.
They do,
yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's blame. I would say it's taking charge.
Yes.
It's owning it.
Yeah. But you take charge of people's finances, mate. That's what you're good at.
Oh yeah. Other people's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, solve all their problems.
Yeah.
But yes, now I'm picky who I work with.
Yeah, so you should be.
Yeah, because I think that was the biggest learning for somebody that wants to help everyone. I clearly saw I wasn't helping anybody.
Yeah.
And so things needed to change to allow me to do the thing which I love doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. People, I'm the same, you know, we like to help people, but we have to be careful.
Yes.
On who that is.
Yes, yeah.
And yes.
How much we do for nothing.
Yes.
I was doing far too much. I wasn't charging enough. I wasn't charging early enough in our process. And therefore I was doing hours upon hours of, and then not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So after Liz Truss, I know we keep ringing her up. How is the housing market now? Has it recuperated? What's going on?
I'm busy. That's all. Yeah. People need somewhere to live. People want to buy a house. People don't want to live with their parents forever, do they?
Do you know what? I heard the other day it's the average age to move out now has moved to, was it 26 years old?
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
It's quite old, isn't it?
Yeah, but then, you know, if you think about it, this is a Western thing. You know, people go into university.
Yeah.
At 19, they maybe come out at 23, 24. They've then got a post-grad job, which isn't great.
Yeah.
You know, so all those types of things. And it's more of a Western thing.
Yeah. It's odd because I often smile because at 18 years old, you know, when everybody else was out clubbing and everything, I bought my first house with a £2,000 deposit and it was 30 grand.
Wow. That's cheap for only 10 years ago, isn't it, Amy?
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, mate, I wish it was.
Oh, you see what I did there? Smooth.
Yeah, you charmer.
I don't know what you mean.
Times have changed now. You can't get much for 30 grand on the
housing market. Anything. Apart from in Grimsby.
In Grimsby, that's it. Everybody to Grimsby.
You can buy Grimsby for that. I'm sorry, people from Grimsby.
I was about to say, if anybody's listening from Grimsby, we do apologise.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry at the same time. It's the one place, right? It's the one place you drive through, you get to it and you're like, Oh, shithole.
I've never been.
Right. You keep driving and you think, I'll get to the nice bit in a minute. And all of a sudden you're on the M180 past it. Right. There is no nice bit. Only
never
place
been.
there's no nice bits.
Right. Well, I've never been, and now I'm never going. No, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time.
But
Yeah. So I think, you know, if I know there's a lot of people out there with debt at the moment. Would you say it has got worse in the last few years?
I don't know really. I don't know. I don't know if it has or not. I think a lot of it is media.
Yeah.
You know, is our times tougher financially? Yeah, of course. Things are costing more.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, are things worse? Yeah. The problem is the people that were over indebted.
Yeah.
The ones that were over indebted when it was good are now fucked.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were just borrowings up to the hilt, car finance, loads on credit cards, loans, you know, mortgage at 1%, and then your mortgage goes up to 6%.
Yes. Very quickly as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like
Yes.
I had one client. Okay. Excuse me. I had one client and his mortgage was £800 a month. And I'd done his mortgage at 0.99%. And I can't remember what it was follow on, but it went up to £1,800 a month. And I looked, I saw, I did the research. He was on my list. It took me about 4 days to ring him. He's a friend of mine. I was shitting. I didn't want to make that phone call, honestly. Can you imagine? Hey, mate, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, I'm good, mate. Yeah. Anyway, about your mortgage.
Yeah.
Just I was it's terrible. You then become literally you're becoming a counsellor on every single call.
Yeah. People panicking.
Yeah. It's a shock.
Yeah.
You know, you go from, hey, this is how I've done your research. This is what your mortgage is going to cost. Do you want to go ahead? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. We'll do that. And then you're ringing people who you've already done a mortgage for. And then you've got to tell them stuff like that. That's not a, hey, how you doing? I've looked at your mortgage options. It's going up £1,000 a month. Is that all right?
Yeah.
It's a bit longer of a phone call.
Yeah. Shocking. Do you think we'll ever get back down to those mortgage rates?
No. And if I'm honest, I don't think we should.
No, I don't. You see, I was working in the property industry when all that happened. I was working estate agent, and we called we called it Black Friday because the majority of our mortgages were with Northern Rock.
Oh yeah, back then.
Way back then.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of sales.
Yeah, I mean that was before my time. But I did have a mortgage with Northern Rock at the time.
Yeah. So I was in that industry when all that happened and the mortgage rates plummeted. And then they never kind of bounced back until like recently. They just
and that's the thing. People are like, oh my God, it's so expensive. And you're actually like, it's not.
No, it wasn't.
It's not. It's just that you've gotten used to, especially younger generation that never experienced it.
Yeah.
Okay, and this was quite interesting. I'd ring older people.
Yeah.
And they'd just be like, yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
We've already been through this. It happens.
Okay? Yeah.
Speak to the younger people and it was like suicide.
Yeah. When
You know,
reality, those rates were just
they
abnormal.
they were very
Yeah,
abnormal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think there's a healthy
Yes.
in between,
Yeah. Yeah.
we were like using adverse lenders, okay, or shit
Mhm.
lenders,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, and they were like 3%,
Yeah.
three and
Yeah.
a half percent, and you go, oh, 3.5%, that's expensive, that.
Right now they'll be like, yes, go on, let's go.
Yeah. So it's all relative, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all relative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm busy, so I
Oh,
don't really watch the news or anything like that. So
no, I don't.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of I look at the data that's in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm still doing loads of business, getting inquiries. I'm as busy as I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're
I love
still
that.
selling
Do you know what?
houses.
I don't watch the news anyway. Like we could be being blown up and I wouldn't know about it.
Nah, I wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't think it's healthy watching the news.
No. Did the recent budget do anything for house buyers and savers?
Not really, because savings, this is part of the thing of me. I do get emails, which
Yeah.
is just money focus. So,
Yeah.
I do, it's not like I don't know what's going on, all right, in terms of money and things like
Yeah.
that. I'm talking more,
World politics.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody needs to know that.
yeah. So, I mean, the thing is at the minute, mortgage fixed rates have been going up
Right.
and savings rates have been dropping.
Yes,
So
I noticed that.
it's kind of like not so good if you're a saver and not so good if you've got a mortgage, which rules kind of everybody in.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, my ISA that I've got, it's had its best ever month.
Really? So
Yeah,
I use
yeah,
Moneybox because it just takes it out of my account. And I
yeah.
did notice the other day that the interest rate had gone down. I'm like, God, a minute.
Oh, it's gone down, has it?
It's gone down.
Mine's gone up. But I'm not going to say who I place mine with because
Yeah.
that
Yes.
people might then take that as advice and go do it,
Yes.
and then just that might not be suitable. So I'm not going
Yeah.
to say.
I'll message you afterwards. You can tell me.
No, that's another thing. It is
You know what? Those
when
savings confuse the hell out of people, don't they? So
yeah,
I think you getting in savings because you make everything simple, whether it's like investing, mortgages, you take the fear away and the confusion.
it's just simple. All right, if you think about saving, right? Oh, I can't save. All right, you fucking can.
Mm,
All right, you're just choosing not to. You don't see the benefit. Okay.
yeah.
And saving it's just a habit. Okay. It's like going to the gym. It's like being in a calorie deficit for long enough. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you save a pound? I
Yeah.
can't save. I can't save. Can you save a
Mm,
pound? I can save a pound. Well, cool. Fuck off. You can save. Stop
yeah.
saying you can't.
Yeah.
Got a challenge for you. Go away. I want to save £1 this month. £1.
Mm,
£1. I can do that. Cool. Go do it. Okay, a month later, did it affect your life? No. Cool. Do you think you can save £2?
mm,
Oh yeah, probably could. Of course you can.
yeah.
Okay. Well done. You've saved 2 months in a row. You've now got £3. How did that affect you? Well, it didn't. Okay, cool. Do you think you can do £3? Yeah.
Mm,
Right. It's just a habit. That's all it is.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And the biggest thing is people go, oh, I've got nothing to save for. Well, fucking so what?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Something will come along.
Make that tune, whatever it was. All right. Yeah. Right. If we acknowledge, if you know the thing that you want, you're too late.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. If you're waiting to know the thing, you're too late because this is the problem. Right. We then go, oh, I can't wait. I want it now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what do? We put it on a credit card,
Credit
make it a
card.
loan, all right? Then we're paying interest. We're paying over the odds for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So if we acknowledge that one day, don't know when it is, but one day I will want to buy something.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know what something is or when it's going to be. I just need to know and acknowledge one day it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if I just start preparing for that now,
Yeah.
and I do it for long enough, the thing that I want, when it comes along, I can go, oh, I've already got the money.
Yeah.
And then you can buy it and you can just pay true market value.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay. And also what then happens is you build up these savings and you become a bit protective of it.
Yeah.
And then you see the thing that comes along, right? And then you're like, well, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want that because
Yeah.
build my savings up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what, you spot on? It's like, it's so easy to get credit cards and everything's like, can't wait, got to get it now.
Yeah.
That's how people get in a mess with money. And we are, I don't know whether you watched that documentary on Netflix, that Buy Now.
No.
The science behind buying and how these big companies like use a bit of science
Yeah.
kind of drag you in. And we are a nation of people that buy shit that we don't need.
Correct.
Aren't we?
Well, hyperbolic discounting, I believe it's called.
Yes, that's the one, yes. And you'll find the people that go, I really want to buy an house, but I'm just spending all my wages on absolute shit that I don't need.
So quick Google, because I haven't mentioned those words for a long time.
Yeah.
Hyperbolic discounting is a cognitive bias that causes people to favor immediate rewards over future rewards. Okay, even if the future reward is more valuable.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's they know that they take advantage of that.
Yeah, they do. And the amount of people I speak to about dopamine all the time to people, like with like reward chemical of the brain, overspending is in with the addictive behavior.
Of course it is. You get your dopamine hit.
Yeah. I speak about it a lot to people, men and women.
Oh, without a doubt, it's huge. And myself, nearly a year and a half ago, diagnosed with ADHD. So
yes,
I've learned a hell of a lot about it, and it explains my actions and habits in the past.
Yeah.
All to do with hormones, neurotransmitters.
Yeah.
And people associate dopamine with being the feel-good drug or the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's not. It is, but
there's a very dark side to dopamine if you're not careful.
But dopamine, that's feel-good is the payoff for dopamine.
Yes, yeah.
It's not the purpose of dopamine.
No, it's not.
The purpose of dopamine is focus.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the payoff is feel good. So if you imagine it and think like, if you've got a dog.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a cupboard where the dog treats are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go to that cupboard and who's there?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? I've learned that you keep the biscuits in here, Dad. So every time you come here, I'm here. Okay. And if you think about it, right, you give your dog a treat. Have you seen how laser focused it is?
Yeah.
Right? Focus. But it's feeling really good and it's got a waggy tail.
Yeah.
So it's got focus and feel good.
Yeah.
Okay. And from that, it learns a habit. So if you go move your dog treats to another cupboard, do you think your dog ain't still going to come to the original cupboard?
No.
It's going to keep going there
Yeah.
for ages
Yeah.
because it's a learned automated behavior.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes for, you know, drink, drugs, gambling, overspending, money. So I think I've managed to turn it around, because I would overspend without a shadow of a doubt, hold my hands up. But I save money now, and I kind of live like, I only buy what I need.
Yeah.
Like quite minimal. But I find the reward out of being like that.
Yes.
So having money, I haven't got a massive lump sum behind me, but it's like it feels secure. I feel like I've done it myself, so that's rewarding.
It's achievement.
It's an achievement. So I've managed to flip it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's nothing worse than worrying that you're in debt and it's piling up, and so you can flip it round and get the reward that way instead of spending.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still remember now, I wake up in the morning, and for the first couple of seconds of the day, you're like, oh yeah, this is amazing. And then bang, oh no, I'm fucked. I'm in 52 grand's worth of debt. And then you're just thinking, I remember just thinking, right, what time is it? I literally opened my eyes a few seconds ago. How many hours is it until I get back in bed and I'm safe?
Yeah.
And then all you're doing is lying awake, worrying and thinking about the money. So what do? Go get booze.
Yeah.
So it'll knock you out.
Yeah.
And that actually digs you a hole because you've got less money.
Yeah. So true. It's such a vicious cycle.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it should be taught more.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I should be teaching it.
You should be. You know what? I was just about to say to you, I know you said you've not done any coaching, but in the future, with that many people struggling with that, would you ever consider just like running next year? Would you? Because I honestly, the amount of people I speak to, massively benefit from what you teach.
Yeah, I had a phone call from randomly a lady only last week, and she rang me up because it was 2 years to the day that she'd rang me, and last year she sent me an email a year to the day with a long list of all her achievements in that last 12 months, and this year she rang me.
Right.
It was epic. Loved it. Yeah, I loved it. And I then think, I did that. I created that. I gave her the straight talking, what they needed to hear, not what they wanted to hear, and gave them the tools to completely change their lives. And this man and this woman, they wouldn't be together now. They were on the verge of divorce. And she was like, we're the happiest that we've ever been. We're not fighting about money. And I do know that I can and do have a very positive effect on people's lives with the lessons I've learned and the tools that I have. And I don't like the fact I'm not doing it, if I'm honest, because it was the one thing. It filled me up. I loved doing it. Yeah,
I loved being taught by you. I was at a place of my life where I can remember this is another reason why I don't watch the news now. I can't remember, it was on Facebook, on the news, where it basically said, if you lived on your own, you wouldn't be able to afford to run a house. After I did your training, I was like, watch me.
Good.
And I did it, and I've completely changed how I view money. I'm not scared of it anymore. I'm not scared to look at my bank. I budget. I don't buy things that I don't need. You helped me sleep at night without a shadow of a doubt, and you changed my life.
Amazing.
And I honestly believe that you are needed.
Yeah. Yeah,
right now.
that's very kind of you to say.
Yeah, and I
Um,
honestly believe that the younger generation, you know, that are renting or wanting to buy a house would massively benefit from you, because I think they've had the fear of God put in them.
I agree.
Yeah.
And they're being told that they won't be able to do this. It's harder than ever, right? It just might take longer.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's going back to that, can you save a pound?
Yes. Well, you need to, when you decide to start that again, right? I want you to let me know and give me all the details, because I will share it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I teach people how to de-stress, right? But the one thing people stress about most is money.
Yeah.
And I can't teach them about that, but you can.
Yeah. I just need someone to do all the technology and stuff like that, and then leave me alone. That's what stresses me. That honestly, that's my trigger.
Right, we can sort that
Yeah,
out. We can sort that. That's fine.
all technology stuff honestly scares me. I'm like, I just want to be left alone to do the thing I like, talking to people, finding out their problems, solving their problems, all that stuff in Facebook ads, and it's not for me, all that.
Yeah, but that's sortable. Remember, it's the who, not the how.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. I find they charge the earth for doing very little.
Yes. Yes, because they know what they're doing.
I get that, but they still charge the earth for doing actually very little. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, I do think that you can impact
some
many.
do, not all.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people just don't want to look at the finances, mate. But the ones that actually go, do you know what? I need to get a handle on this now, because it's going to just get worse. It's not going away.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest, you know, you hear many people like commit suicide because of money, when
Yeah, and it's tragic.
yeah, when it everything can be sortable.
Yeah, it can be. You just need a plan. And I think that's actually the problem, is that this type of stuff is not said out loud. People aren't honest.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't know about you, but growing up, people didn't talk about the money situations. Everything was closed doors.
Yeah. Religion, politics, how
Everything
much
was
you
closed
earn.
doors. So I think it's a big thing for somebody to come out and say, do you know what, I've made a shitload of debt.
It is, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because of how the world is now.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. But what's even more shouldn't be is there should be plenty of education there.
Yes.
To prevent that in the first place.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I rant about schools, mate, all the time. You know, I do think that they should be teaching things that are needed in everyday life, like finances, like mental resilience, like about
without doubt,
like neuroplasticity and habits, and how not to get a bad habit. But instead, you can do everything that you don't want to do.
Yeah. And if we think about it, everything that we do is a habit.
Yeah.
Everything that we do is a habit, from the moment we wake up to the moment that we go to bed. We just, some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
If you know, choose your habit.
Yeah. And we can change habits all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what? I've loved our chat, and I know there's so many people looking forward to hearing it as well. And it is needed now, because there's so many people worrying about money, cost of living, and things like this. So, and this is perfect because it's coming out before Christmas. So happy Christmas, everybody that's listening to this. And let's start the year in January with a fresh kind of mindset on money, and that this year we can save and things can happen.
And if there was one thing that I could say about Christmas, when things are tough, people have this, I've got to still get Christmas presents and stuff like that. Okay. And it's actually one of the habits that keeps people in that loop of being constantly in debt. Okay. And if there's anybody listening to this, and I could give them one piece of advice, if you're already struggling and you're too scared to speak to someone or anything like that, that's fine. If you feel that you're under pressure to deliver for Christmas, and maybe you've got a reputation for overspending, maybe you've got a reputation of buying the cool presents.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's no good. Okay, if you're for the next 6 months still paying for Christmas. Okay.
Yeah.
And imagine this, there's going to be people out there that they get that credit card bill in January. And it's sad to say that there's going to be people out there that will commit suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. So just imagine what your family would prefer. Okay.
That's
Do
so
they
good.
want the present, or do they want you? And I would much rather somebody say to me, I'm really struggling. I'm dead sorry I can't get you a Christmas present. I go, that's fine. Don't worry. I don't want one anyway.
Yeah.
47.
Yeah.
You're only get me fucking socks. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but what would we prefer? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be proud and carry on and get yourself into a bigger hole. Right. If you want to make a change, that's the first change. Just be honest and say, I'm not doing Christmas presents this year. You don't even have to give an explanation. If you want to, then do. Let people know, because nobody will care.
No. And that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they won't care. You know, Christmas is about family.
Of course.
And friends and, you know, being around loved ones, not necessarily the big shiny present that probably nobody wants anyway. It's just another thing.
And imagine, right, if there'll be people out there that sadly kill themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of present is that leaving to the family, right? Yeah. When they find out that potentially you're in loads of debt and there was money problems, and they're still sat there with the present that you gave them. They don't want that present.
No.
Okay, so be brave and just say, if you're struggling, I'm not doing Christmas this year.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's all you have to do.
That's so true. That is so true. Right, I ask this question to every guest. It's the last question. It's the hardest one.
Okay.
Richard, tell me 3 good things about yourself.
3 good things about myself.
Yes.
3 good things. I think I'm quite inspiring.
You are, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I think I am. And I need to remember that.
You do.
Another good thing is never a quiet moment.
I quite like that as well, yeah.
Fucking guaranteed, right? And I'm quite funny.
You are, and you're an absolute legend. Right, if anybody wants to get in contact with you, social media, where can they reach you?
I'm on Facebook, Richard Crowe, or Richard Crowe Mortgages and Insurance. Where else? I'm on Instagram, Richard Crowe Talks Money, but ironically, I don't really talk about money much on there at all. That's the social media thing and all that.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah.
It's the technology again behind it.
Yeah.
And email richardarceyfinancial.co.uk.
We'll put all the links on, but I am going to hold you to doing another money mastery.
Well, you've got me thinking now, haven't you?
I think it's needed. I honestly think it's needed. Now, I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it was needed. So I think just have a think about it, mate, and just see. I know you love doing it, and I know you like helping people, and I know you like talking money and sorting people out. You impacted so many people on that training, which is why everybody's really looking forward to this podcast.
Good.
And I know with with the right help with technology, you could reach thousands of people.
But I might even have to learn it. Who knows? I hate that kind of stuff.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is with technology? So before I set this podcast up, I wanted to do it for like 6 months. I kept going, no, because I've got to edit it, and I've got to do the reels and everything like that. And it felt like I was standing at the bottom of Snowdon and I was going to climb it in a bikini and flip flops.
Can we make that happen?
No.
Okay, all right.
And I can remember, like, I just kept going, no, it's too difficult. And then all of a sudden, somebody was going, no, all you do is do this, then you do that. And mate, I can do it with my eyes closed now.
That's brilliant.
But it's because we look at it as this big, scary thing that we know nothing about. When actually, if you get somebody just to sit there and go, right, just do this.
Yeah.
Do this, an easy way to do it.
Do you know what? That, if I've got, and interestingly, something which I've learned about ADHD, there's a thing called body doubling.
Right, okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
Okay. So let's say, as an example, that kind of stuff, okay, if you said to me, right, Rich, what we're going to do is we're going to do a Teams, and I'm going to show you how to do it, right? I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd listen. I'd ask questions. I'd take it all in. No problem. Okay. But if you send me a load of stuff and go, I want you to do this, this, and this.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to, so you're a visual person, a bit like me. If I'm seeing it done, absolutely fine. If you give me an instruction book, not a chance.
So yeah. So I wanted to go digital with my accounting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to use Xero. Kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Scared the living hell out of me. Not gonna lie. Really, filled me with anxiety. And one day, my missus says, right, we're not doing anything this weekend. We are going to sit 8 hours each day. If we need to, we're going to go through everything. All right. So we sat here, and she uses it at work. Right. So we got it set up and whatnot. And we had to go backwards quite a long way. So there was a lot of work to do. And we'd been sat there 2-3 hours, and my girlfriend's mum rang her. So she picked the phone and went, I'll just go speak to my mum. I'll be back in a bit. So now she was like, just leave it. It's fine. I'm like, right, I've been watching this. Let's have a go. So I'm like, I'm banging into it. After about 20 minutes, she comes back down. She's like, right then, move over. Didn't even look at her. I just went, no, I'm good now. See you in a bit. And for like the next 5 hours, I didn't stop, didn't have a break.
Yeah.
And I just smashed it. But I needed that someone to go, right, this is how we do it. Watch, repeat.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was good to go.
Yeah. That's it then. So we need to find somebody that's going to do that.
I've gone all blurry now. I thought it was my contact lenses. Right? I got some new ones yesterday, but I'm like, no, I can see Amy okay. So
I love that. So I am going to hound you
all right.
to get this set up. I will. Ask anybody. I will start calling you out on social media as well if you ignore me.
I won't ignore you. Look, I think what you're doing is amazing, and there's a reason why I said yes to doing your podcast and not anybody else's in the last long time. Okay, so
thank you.
You should be. It's a compliment.
Thank you. A massive compliment from a legend. I feel absolutely honoured. Well, thank you. I urge anybody and everybody to follow Richard and hound him as well to get this course set up, because he is fantastic. The more people that hound him, the better. So thank you, my lovely, for an amazing episode, and I will see you soon.
Bye-bye.